Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today's video is going to be a very quick one. We'll be building a web scraping agent, and we'll be building using a library called FireCrawl. It's an open source library. There is a paid version or the paid service available as well. The goal of this particular video is to build a simple web scraping agent that takes in a URL and takes in a few instructions as well. It scrapes the content, parses content based on instructions, and creates a CSV file of the requested data. Because we'll be running this on a collab notebook, we'll not be creating a CSV physical file. We'll just be displaying data, but essentially we'll emulate the creation of a CSV file. A simple illustration here. The user queries to an interface agent. Interface agent is essentially an agent that understands the query, understands the kind of instructions that have come in, and if it needs specific information or more data from the user, it basically asks the question to the user. If it doesn't, it basically hands off the control to the scraper agent. Scraper agent, as instructed here, or is as the goal of this particular video, takes the URL, follows the instructions to scrape or parse specific information from that particular page, returns a CSV file essentially. All right, simple illustration. We will first talk about the library that we'll be using here. Let me quickly go to the code. The open source library that we'll be using here is called FireCrawl. You can go to firecrawl.dev and leverage the service, online service available. I think it has a few credits for free beyond maybe certain tokens, and beyond those tokens or beyond certain limits, you'll have to pay more. But you can actually parse a lot of content or scrape a lot of content in the available free tier. A little bit of disclaimer: I don't encourage people scraping content from commercial websites or websites that do not allow scraping content from. So for this particular video, we'll be using the toScrape website, which is essentially built to practice web scraping on top of this. So we'll be using the books.toscrape.com, and we'll see how by using natural language query we can extract specific or scrape specific elements from these pages. All right. Now, before I actually walk you guys through the code, I want to talk about the traditional way of how scraping is done. Until the advent of LLMs, or until let's say 2021 or 2022, you had to specify the XPath or the selectors and write custom code to extract specific elements from a page. For example, if I go to this particular page here, I had to specify the XPath or the selectors here for this particular element to extract the page title, and do the same for pricing, and write custom code to do that using the request library and the beautiful soap library in Python essentially to do that. That was a lot of code to be written, but you write that once, and if the structure is same, if the XPath matches, it can essentially pull that information from that particular web page. But if you want to make it generic, right, you just want to use natural language and talk to that particular web page, FireCrawl is probably a very good library. You can actually write your own custom library. You don't need to use FireCrawl. You can write a custom scraper and use the extracted information and use an LLM to basically talk to that particular to that particular parsed content or scraped content, right? Let's quickly get back to the goal of this particular video. We'll first quickly download the packages. We are using OpenAI Swarm here, and we don't need this. I can remove this. This is not required in this particular video. We'll be using the OpenAI client. We'll also use the FireCrawl package. You can just do pip install firecrawl-py. Like I said, you have to go to firecrawl.dev to essentially get the API key if you're using the service. But if you're running this particular code on a Docker instance, you can essentially simply call that particular URL here. All right, so this is going to be a very small snippet of code that you will see we'll use to create the agent. Essentially, we have two agents here. One is the user interface agent. As you saw from the illustration, the user interface agent takes in a particular query and a URL from the user. The URL and the query could look something like this. I've already written that here, and it essentially what it does is it takes in that particular instruction from the user and asks any questions if it if it probably thinks that it needs specific information or more details from the user. If it is good, if it is okay with the query, it'll hand off that particular control to the website scraper agent. Website scraper agent is simple. It essentially scrapes content of that particular URL, analyzes that particular content, and essentially runs whatever instructions that we give it. And after it is done parsing the content, it'll essentially hand off the control to JSON to CSV downloadable method. Those two methods are written here. I have done a very detailed video of this particular OpenAI swarm. You can essentially click this particular link here. This is going to be a very good introduction to the OpenAI swarm. We are probably using the same complexity that we used the last time, but essentially using a different use case, which is a scraper agent in this particular use case. All right. Now actually, let's run. So I've already run most of the code. I've been testing it, but let me quickly run this and we'll see a live example. All right, this is the query that I want it to run. The instruction is get title and price from the top two products of this particular URL. The URL is here, and I'm expecting the top two URLs to be. I'll go to the books homepage. Yeah, the top two URL should be or the top two page products title and price should be a light in the attic and the price of 51.77 pounds and tipping the velvet. All right, so let's see if we get that response. I'm going to hit enter now. All right, it has handed off, and as you can see, it was quickly able to extract the title and the price, and in this case the title and the price. You remember we are mocking or emulating how a JSON download would work. So it is just essentially displaying the JSON or the CSV content here. The column is title, the title is light in the attic, and the price is 51.77, just exactly the way we saw. In fact, let me actually do this. All right, so we have, let me give it another instruction. We were able to extract the title and the top two products here, and the pricing as well, 51.77 and 53.74. Now, you can actually, just by giving natural language instructions, you can actually navigate to a specific page or category here in this books to scrape content that we are seeing, and essentially get product information from that particular category. So I wanted to go to, let's say, the philosophy category and fetch the top two products. All right. The top two products here are Sophie's World and the Debt of Humanity. All right. So get the top two products from remember, if you had to basically code this or write custom scrapers, you had to specify the XPath or the selector of this particular navigation here, and then it would be go to that particular page, extract this links. A lot of work, and as you can see, it was able to quickly get the information that we wanted. Sophie's World 15.94 and Death of Humanity, which is the second product, and the price is 58.11. Let me take this a step further. I wanted to basically go to these individual pages. Let me open this in a new tab and get the product description for both the pages. All right. So the query would simply be go to the pages of the product and get the product description. So essentially it's scraping the content from navigating to this particular page, scraping the content from that particular page, and giving it to us. As you can see, Sophie's World, a page turning novel that is also an exploration. This is it. And let's go to the other page, which is the death of humanity. And the description is, do you believe human's life is inherently valuable? And that is what it is. One last check, we will ask it to get the UPC ID as well, or let me actually do this, get the product information table. So it'll go get the exact table that we want, and as you can see, we have information like UPC, product type, price, etc. Alright guys, that's it from this particular video. I thought this is game changing. You don't need FireCrawl here, but FireCrawl has done a brilliant job of basically abstracting scraping as well as leveraging an LLM to pull the information in the markdown format. You can write your own custom scraper to do this, but the power of using an LLM on top of that and using natural language to navigate to certain parts of the page is I thought is very is incredible. Alright guys, I hope this particular video was useful. I hope you learned a thing or two. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. I'll be creating a comparison of CrewAI and OpenAI Swarm in my next video. Please like and subscribe and share it with your network. Thank you so much.